I'm Goldie Spencer, and I was so pleased to be asked to participate in Alberta Storytelling in their project Tribute Tales to celebrate their 40th anniversary. I have fond memories of Edmonton, where I attended the Storytellers of Canada conference in 2017 and subsequently the Storytelling Festival. I performed with Marva Blackmore in a set where we told our stories about the women of the Yukon. My story today is The Legend of the Cardinal. It was a sad day in May when I buried my Jack. It was hard to believe that he'd never be back. After the funeral, some people returned with us to the house, and it was filled with family and friends who were all there to comfort me and my son Alex in our loss. But I was not comforted. I was in a state of shock, of denial and despair. And the awkward words of condolence were beginning to stifle me. I needed air. I needed quiet. So I slipped out of the house and went back into the yard and sat down on a lounge on the patio. The yard backed on to a park, which was full of trees, and the air was filled with bird song. As I looked around, everywhere I looked I saw Jack's handiwork. There was the raised deck with the pergola atop. We had planted grapevines, and they had climbed up, and now the vines were entwined with the timbers of the pergola. In the fall, that was a favorite spot for the cardinals. They would fly over, land, and pluck one grape and then fly away. In the center of the yard, encircling the pear tree, was a hexagonal wooden seating platform. I had asked Jack to make it for me. It was our favorite spot to sit and watch the sunset, with its palette of golds and oranges and just a blush of pink as the sun sank below the horizon. At the end of the yard, we had created a shade garden. There was a huge terracotta pot lying on its side, and I just hoped that I would have the will to fill it with red and white impatiens, as I did every year. All around the pot I could see the shoots of lily of the valley and hosta just beginning to poke through the earth. Jack and I worked as a team, not just to create gardens, but in almost every aspect of our lives. As I sat there wondering, what am I going to do without my soulmate, a cardinal was flying overhead, and it came down and landed not on the grapevines, which were barely in leaf. No, it landed softly and gracefully on the very arm of the lounge that I was sitting in. He was so close to me, I looked in his eyes, and he looked back at me. And a thought flashed through my mind. Could this be a sign from Jack? A message just to say, I'm okay, Gold. And then that beautiful red bird bent and dipped its head, as if agreeing with my thought. And then it raised its wings and soared up, up and away. It was like a miracle. Never before had a cardinal come this close to me. But I never told anyone about this event. I figured it would seem too fanciful. Years and years passed, and it was only recently that I was doing some research on legends, and I found the legend of the cardinal. I had never heard of it before. Some people believe that the cardinal is a messenger from a loved departed one. The sighting of the cardinal is a sign that they are thinking of you or sending you a message. I am now a believer. Still others believe that if a loved one is around, they may send a messenger from the animal kingdom. Something with wings usually attracts our attention, and it may be a simple acknowledgement that they are always around. So it is as if by asking, what am I going to do without my soulmate, that a cardinal was sent to me to tell me that Jack's spirit was there. So the legend is true. The sign did appear. A message from Jack. My eyes shed a tear. Memories of our love will always live on. With them I'll not part till I too am gone. Thank you.